Some ships are longer than skyscrapers are tall. The sheer scale is hard to wrap your head around. But these metal leviathans aren't just feats of engineering. They represent the pinnacle of national power, floating cities that can project force across the globe. How did we get here? How did we go from wooden ships to steel giants that carry enough aircraft to form their own air force? It's a story of ambition, innovation, and a constant, deadly race for supremacy on the high seas. Our story begins in the early 20th century. The world's great powers were locked in a fierce naval arms race. The rule was simple. Whoever had the biggest, most powerful battleships ruled the waves. And then, in 1906, Britain launched a ship that changed everything, HMS Dreadnought. It was revolutionary. It featured an all-big gun armament, with more heavy caliber guns than any ship before it, and it was powered by steam turbines, making it faster too. Suddenly, every other battleship on the planet was obsolete. The term dreadnought itself came to define a whole new era of warship. This sparked a frenzy of construction. Nations scrambled to build their own dreadnoughts, each one bigger and more powerful than the last. Battleships became the ultimate symbols of national prestige and military might. This technological crescendo reached its peak during World War II with ships that have become legends. Think of the Imperial Japanese Navy's Yamato, the largest battleship ever built, armed with colossal 18.1-inch guns that could hurl shells over 26 miles. Or the United States Iowa-class battleships, sleek, fast, and bristling with cannons, vessels so well designed they served for decades. These were the titans of their age, the undisputed kings of the ocean, designed for one thing: to meet an enemy fleet and obliterate it in a cataclysmic gun duel. But even as these giants were being launched, their reign was already coming to an end. A new weapon was about to prove that the biggest guns don't always win the fight. While the world was obsessed with battleships, a few forward thinkers were experimenting with a radical new idea: a ship that could carry airplanes. Early aircraft carriers were clumsy, often converted from other types of vessels, with fragile planes taking off from wooden decks. They were seen as support ships, useful for scouting but not for decisive combat. The battleship admirals scoffed. How could a flimsy biplane possibly sink a steel-plated dreadnought? World War II provided the brutal answer. The attack on Pearl Harbor was a shocking demonstration of naval air power. But the true turning point came 6 months later, at the Battle of Midway. Here, two fleets fought a decisive battle without their main ships ever seeing each other. The entire fight was waged by carrier-launched aircraft. American dive bombers, in a few terrifying minutes, located and sank 4 Japanese aircraft carriers, the very heart of their fleet. The battle was a stunning victory for the United States and a devastating blow to Japan. Midway proved, unequivocally, that the aircraft carrier had replaced the battleship as the queen of the seas. The ability to strike an enemy from hundreds of miles away, over the horizon, was a strategic advantage that no amount of armor or size of gun could overcome. The age of the battleship was over. The age of the carrier had begun. Naval strategy was rewritten overnight. From then on, the fleet would be built around the carrier, not the battleship. The evolution from those early flat-tops to the massive fleet carriers of the late war was rapid, setting the stage for the floating airbases we see today. So, what do the modern giants of the sea look like? Leading the pack are the American supercarriers, the direct descendants of their World War II ancestors. Take the Nimitz-class or the newer Ford-class carriers. These are the largest warships ever built. They are over 1,000 feet long and powered by nuclear reactors, giving them virtually unlimited range and endurance. They don't just carry planes. They are floating airbases, each home to a carrier air wing of around 90 advanced aircraft, from fighter jets to electronic warfare planes. They are cities at sea, with a crew of over 5,000 sailors and aviators. A single one of these carriers possesses more striking power than the entire air forces of many countries. But carriers aren't the only behemoths out there. There's another class of vessel that has grown to enormous proportions: the large amphibious assault ship. Think of them as the modern evolution of troop transports, but on an epic scale. Ships like the US Navy's America class are essentially light aircraft carriers. They can carry a squadron of F-35B Lightning II stealth fighters, which can take off and land vertically, as well as a host of helicopters. But their primary mission is to land a force of over 1,500 Marines on a hostile shore, complete with their tanks, artillery, and supplies, using landing craft launched from an internal well deck. They combine air power and amphibious capability in one massive, versatile package. And we can't forget the titans of the Cold War, a unique class of heavy nuclear-powered ships. The Soviet Union, seeking to counter American carrier groups, built the massive Kirov-class battlecruisers. These weren't carriers, but they were the largest surface combatants, other than carriers, built since World War II. Armed with a huge arsenal of anti-ship, anti-aircraft, and anti-submarine missiles, they were designed to hunt and destroy entire enemy fleets. Their nuclear power gave them the endurance to roam the oceans for months on end. While few remain in service, they represent a different philosophy of naval power, one of overwhelming, concentrated firepower in a single hull. When you see these modern giants alongside their historical counterparts, the leap in scale is staggering. The Iowa-class battleship, once the pinnacle of naval engineering, is dwarfed by a modern Ford-class carrier. The evolution is clear. The focus has shifted from guns to aircraft and from singular combat to versatile power projection. So why, in an age of satellites, drones, and long-range missiles, does size still matter so much at sea? The first reason is power projection. This has been the core role of a navy for centuries, the ability to exert influence and military force far from one's own shores. Modern giants do this more effectively than ever before. A carrier strike group, centered on a supercarrier and its escorts, is a sovereign piece of territory that can move anywhere in international waters. It can launch airstrikes, enforce a no-fly zone, or simply signal intent, all without needing the permission of a host country for a land base. It's a powerful diplomatic and military tool. Second, it's about logistics and endurance. A bigger ship can simply carry more of everything. More fuel, more ammunition, more spare parts, more food, and more aircraft. This translates directly into staying power. A nuclear-powered carrier can stay at sea for years without refueling, its deployment limited only by the food supplies and the endurance of its crew. This ability to remain on station for extended periods, ready to act, is a critical strategic advantage. It allows a nation to maintain a persistent presence in a region, responding to crises as they unfold. Finally, it's about deterrence. The old concept of gunboat diplomacy, where you'd send a warship to a foreign port to intimidate a government, has evolved. Today, it's carrier diplomacy. The simple act of moving a carrier strike group into a region sends a powerful and unambiguous message to both allies and adversaries. It's a visible, tangible symbol of commitment and capability. The sheer size and power of a modern carrier group acts as a powerful deterrent, discouraging potential aggressors and reassuring allies without a single shot being fired. At sea, size is not just about raw power, it's about global reach, endurance, and influence. From the first dreadnoughts that made all other ships obsolete to the mighty battleships that ruled the waves to the aircraft carriers that redefined naval warfare, the quest for dominance at sea has always driven technology and scale to new heights. Today's naval giants are the culmination of over a century of innovation, floating symbols of power that can shape events across the globe. As they sail into the horizon, they carry with them the legacy of all the great ships that came before, a constant reminder that on the vast, open ocean, size isn't just about power, it's about reach. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through naval history, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of engineering and technology. See you next time.